Good morning, everybody. Here we're reading through First Chronicles chapters 1 and 2. Man, that's a lot of names, isn't it? You, you're not going to keep those straight. And I've known people who've tried to memorize all this sort of stuff. And listen, there's things to learn from it, but these aren't the important things. These aren't the things that we need to memorize. Um, But I am amazed that these people could trace their ancestry all the way back to Adam. Going back to Noah and then past. The people can look and they can look back and they can see their great 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 grandparents and there's not a lot that's we're told about them, but their names are this. It's amazing, isn't it? We don't have that same kind of attitude that Israel had. The ancestry was very very important. That they want to know who they belonged to, where they came from. It was very important that they were able to trace back as far as they could. Um, the fact that they were part of the tribe that they were part of. Most of us, we might know our grandparents, but how much do we know about our great grandparents? Even if we know their names, do we know their favorite foods? Do we know what their favorite activity was? Do we know what their laugh was like? Do we know what songs they like to sing? There's a lot of details that we wouldn't know about our great grandparents. And do we even know the names of our great great grandparents? Some of you who have been tracing your ancestry, maybe you know that much, but you might have a name, but you don't know much else about them. And yet, all these names that we read today, and all the people in your own family tree, um, were known and cherished and loved by God, and were part of His plan. They were part of His plan for you today. Because without your great 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 grandparents, you wouldn't be here. And He had you in mind as He was looking after them. He had you in mind today, as He has the children of your children in mind, as He looks after you and you walk with Him. And it's mind boggling to think that um, every person, every person is so important and cared for by our Father. It's so important. And it breaks His heart when He has a rescue plan in place and people reject it. Because we know not everybody in our family is has been adopted. Not everybody in our family is a child of God. They are part of His creation, but not a child. And as much as it may hurt our heart, imagine what it does for our Father. And I think in our reality today, that may not even come across as important to us, but it should be. What is important to His heart should be important to our heart, and the part that we play in our children and in our children's children um, really should be something that is important to us. Now, we mark our ancestry different because we are born into the kingdom now, and we trace our birth back to the Holy Spirit. It is by the Holy Spirit that we have received this rebirth, this new birth. We have to be born first by the flesh. That's the water Jesus refers to, and the natural birth. And then we need to be born by the Spirit. Jesus made it absolutely clear. This has to happen. Born of the flesh, then born of the Spirit. The born of the flesh, obviously, you're not going to have any chance to be born of the Spirit unless you're born of the flesh. But there are many who never really enter into that born of the Spirit. They attend church. They follow a moral code. They think they're okay, but they've never experienced the second birth, um, and they think they're okay. They think they're okay because the truth isn't being spoken. And I think we have to be brutally honest about these things for the sake of those who will follow us, who come after us. We have to. We need to be honest, brutally honest about this need for that second birth, that we can trace our ancestry back to the Spirit, where we're born again. We're born for the second time. We're born into the kingdom. Yeah. Okay, you guys be blessed, be encouraged, have an excellent day, and be open to whatever the Lord wants, and whatever the Spirit is leading you into. Love you guys. God bless.